Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a truly massive concept, Architects of Tomorrow, the Student Entrepreneurship Guide. Honestly, just hearing that title sets a ridiculously bold expectation right out of the gate. It completely flips the script. It doesn't treat the student as some passive vessel just waiting around to be filled with information. No, it treats them as an active, visionary builder from day one.
Which leads us immediately to a pretty fundamental question. Who builds the future? Seriously, take a second and really think about it. Usually, society tells middle and high school students that they're basically just waiting in the wings, right? They're told to wait to grow up, wait to get a degree, wait for somebody to finally give them permission to enter the real world. But this whole concept? It challenges that notion entirely. It challenges students to stop being bystanders and asks them to start seeing themselves as the active creators of tomorrow today.
Okay, let's dive into this phrase, Architects of Tomorrow. Man, what a deliberate and impactful choice of words. It sets up this incredibly bold premise that young people are essentially destined to design our future. I mean, they aren't just participants going along for the ride. They are the lead designers literally holding the pen. Just wrapping your head around that idea alone completely changes what a student is capable of achieving right now, while they're still walking the halls of their school.
Let's actually break down that word, architect. An architect is someone who designs and builds the future, rather than just passively living in it. Think about it. An architect takes raw materials and structures them into a tangible solution. For a student, those raw materials might just be an awareness of a really frustrating local problem, or maybe a totally unique passion they have. Maybe it's turning a weekend hobby into a legitimate side hustle, or transforming a classroom struggle into a super helpful app. At the end of the day, it is absolutely all about having a vision and executing on it.
All right, let's shift gears into Section 1, the Entrepreneurship Guide.
So, the Student Entrepreneurship Guide serves as the essential foundational tool for embarking on this entire journey of creation. And notice something super important here. It's not some generic, stuffy corporate business manual aimed at adults with decades of industry experience. Not at all. It is specifically tailored to the student experience. It actually understands that students are out there balancing homework, navigating extremely limited capital, and basically building their networks from absolute scratch. It gives them the exact, precise tools they need right at their current stage of life.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core transition we're talking about here. Take a look at the contrast. On the left side, we have the traditional view, today's school student. This is someone who's basically expected to sit at a desk, quietly absorb provided information, and pass standardized tests. But look at the right side, tomorrow's entrepreneur. It beautifully, and I mean beautifully, shifts the paradigm from simple consumption to active creation. It moves the student from just passively learning about things to actually proactively solving problems.
The ultimate goal here is becoming a future entrepreneur. And I want you to really notice the word becoming there. It implies continuous action, doesn't it? Becoming is a process. It clearly signifies that the state of being an entrepreneur isn't some magical genetic trait you're simply born with. No way. Rather, it's a skill set and a mindset that you actively develop into through guidance, effort, and a whole lot of practice.
Which brings us right into Section 2, becoming a future entrepreneur.
So, what does this role actually mean in the real world? Look, a future entrepreneur isn't necessarily someone in a tailored suit pitching to high-stakes venture capitalists in a boardroom. Well, at least not yet. It is simply defined as a proactive school student who is equipped to innovate, build businesses, and lead in tomorrow's landscape. This really cements the idea that entrepreneurship is a highly accessible identity right now. It's a mindset of deep resourcefulness and early leadership. And the best part, it can start in a classroom, in an after-school club, or literally right at your kitchen table.
Let's move to and see how this builds sequentially because it makes so much sense. Step 1. You start exactly where you are, simply as a school student. There's no prerequisite here other than just being a student. Step 2 is the catalyst, using the guide. This is where you intentionally absorb the principles of entrepreneurship that were designed for your specific stage in life. And then, Step 3 is the inevitable result of applying that knowledge, emerging as a future entrepreneur. It is just such a clear, logical, and highly actionable pathway from raw potential to actualized reality.
And I want to draw your absolute focus to these three simple words: for school students. This is so fundamentally important to grasp. If you are a parent, an educator, or a student watching this explainer right now, you need to know that this entire concept is built exclusively for you. It recognizes your unique vantage point, your untethered creativity, and the highly specific challenges that school students face today. It outright refuses to ask you to wait until adulthood to start building your dreams. Instead, it intentionally hands you the tools right now, today.
Which leaves us with one final undeniable question.
Are you ready to become an architect of tomorrow? It turns the entire premise of this guide into a personal challenge for every single viewer. The blueprint clearly exists. The guide is right there to bridge the gap from a traditional school student to an innovative future entrepreneur. So the only thing left to do is for you to pick up those tools and start building. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope exploring these concepts leaves you inspired, empowered, and incredibly eager to start your very own journey.